Hi everyone. A customer recently emailed me asking about can they conditionally set the file upload control to accept files. Now there's a couple of options here, as there always are with forms. So if you come through here and you select preview and you filling out your form, press submit, this isn't requiring files by default. However, you come to the designer, click on the file upload control, you can turn on the required checkbox and you can have a custom error message or something like that. So when you come back here, you're filling out your form, press submit, and it's going to say please upload a file. Now, what if I only wanted to ask for a file when supporting documents is required? So what I'd do is I'd go back to my file upload control and I'd turn off required message, and I'd go to rules and come and do a form rule, and I'd say if check required, if supporting documents equals required. Now this could be any logic that you choose. We're just going to go with supporting documents equals required. Then the supporting documents, file upload control required is yes, else file upload required is no. I'll create that rule. Coming back to preview. So if I select here, and I don't put anything here for the moment, press submit, this is a required field. So it's actually telling me you've got to go and put some files in here. Selecting not required removes that message again. So this is one way you could conditionally check if your file upload control has got something in it. So if I go and drag a file into here, now it's all happy, move it, it's going to ask me for those files again. So that's two ways of conditionally, or two ways of restricting or making sure that you've got files in your upload control. Now, I think the question was more around what if I wanted to make sure that if supporting documents was required and I want more than one attachment uploaded, how do I go about doing that? So I'd go back to rules. Let's get rid of this rule for a moment. Now, I would actually go from not using form rules to submit rules. Now, submit rules are like validation rules when a person's submitting the form, obviously. So clicking on add new, and we're going to say check if less than 2 files, whatever it needs to be. Now, if you're not familiar with formulas, this might feel a bit complex, but bear with us and see how we go. So we can do our standard logic if something equals or not equals, or we have the ability to select the insert tab. So in the insert tab is where we can do a lot of formulas and additional work here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an if statement. If you're not familiar with the if statement, you can come through here and learn about the if statement here, but or you can just keep watching this video. So we'll go if else, and we're going to say count. What we're going to do is we're going to count the file upload, and so the file upload control, it's a collection, it's an array of files. So we're going to count how many files are in the file upload control. We're going to say if it's less than 2, and the supporting documents control is equal to required. So that's the first part of it. So let me just check what it is. And then if that is all coming through as true, so if the file upload control had less than 2 and supporting documents is required, then give me back true. So we can say boolean response of true. Otherwise, if that all checks out, if we've got more than 2 files and supporting documents required, return false. So what are we actually doing here? So let's just break it out a bit. So we've got if else, and we'll come down here, we'll go count. So let's break out this. Just push that out there. Okay. Alright. So if else, count, and we've got a few things going wrong here. So if else, count file upload control. Okay, so I haven't put a bracket here, so it's got to count the number of files in the file upload control. It's going to count those, and is it less than 2? That's the first part of it. And if form supporting documents equals required. Now we've got a comma here. It doesn't like what I've done here. Why not? What's going wrong? Input is unexpected. Okay, it's a shame. We've got a comma that doesn't need a bracket that doesn't need to be there. Okay, so now those error messages have gone away. So I've cleaned it up. So now, if else. So if something is true, then it's going to respond true. Now this could be text, could be a number, could be a string, but I'm just choosing Boolean, so it's easier to work with. So if the file upload is less than 2 and it's asking for files to be uploaded, return true, otherwise false. We're going to insert that. Now this formula is returning a Boolean response. So this is now knowing if it's true, it's yes. Then we're going to say file upload control, show validation message. Please make sure you attached more than 2 attached 2 or more files. Anyway, whatever your validation message needs to be. Go and create the rule. So let's go back to preview and see how we go. So I'm not going to fill this out. Select required, press submit. Please make sure you have attached 2 or more files. Pretty good. So now I'm going to go across, drag 2 attachments in there. All happy. Now if I delete one, please make sure you attach more than 2 files. So that's the third way that you can have validation on your file upload control. So it's a little bit complex, but you can see the power in it. So we're counting the attachments in the file upload control, we're checking with some other logic, and you could build more and more logic into this. You can have nested if-else statements if you wanted to. So there's a lot of power and flexibility, but hopefully that helps you and you have success in your future form. Cheers.